Hi, Vince.
Hi,
I was.
David.
It's pretty hot here. My brain is really slow these days. Yeah. Uh, I'd like to ask you something related to one of our previous meetings, um, regarding that feeling of inadequacy, of not being enough. And I'm noticing more and more that this feeling is often related to, especially when I'm dealing with my job and the skills that I'm supposed to have because of my job. It's related to also to the fear of not knowing enough, and this not knowing enough. But I noticed that I bring this also outside my job, and that when I am caught not knowing enough, because maybe someone asks me something, or maybe are talking about some topic with friends or people in general, and there is this pressure on me. I feel pressured to know my stuff, to know stuff, to know things. And when I'm caught not knowing something, there is instantly that feeling of contraction, of that story about not being good enough because I don't know enough. And so it's very related, not knowing enough with not feeling good enough, especially in my job, but also it reflects also in other parts of my life. And I
Mm,
know that because I have experimented it in those last months, that there is some beauty, some peace in accepting not knowing stuff. But that is harder when the story also tells you that people expect you to know things, especially in your job, or maybe because you are talking about a topic and people expect you to be expert in that specific topic. And so that I feel that are the situations in which when I feel it more, the pressure of knowing and the fear of not knowing.
mm. So tell me, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you this? Is it that as a result of not knowing, you feel somehow deficient in yourself, or is it that you're unable to please other people?
Mm, I feel like it's both because I know that I use knowledge as a way of proving that I am worth of being loved. And so by in this character uses knowledge as a
Yes, yeah.
mean to gain love from other people, to get love from other people. And so in the occasions, in the circumstance, when I am caught not knowing something, there is immediately that feeling of, yeah, I'm not being enough, I'm not good enough, I'm stupid, I should know this, I am I am wrong because I don't know it. I don't know it and I should know it because that's the way that I am worth of
Mm.
being appreciated, of being loved. And so, yeah, it's because I want, it's so internalized that I'm not sure that to that it's just to please other people because it's so
No, it's not sounding like it, like you're
connected with
describing to
my
me.
worth, with my self-worth.
Yes. Yeah, what you're describing sounds much more like it's self-worth rather than trying to please other people. Yeah.
David, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
So you were talking about your work. What do you actually work at?
I'm a developer,
What do you
mainly web
develop?
developer. Yeah.
What do you
So you need
develop?
to know a lot of stuff and always be up to date with the
Yeah,
latest technologies. It's always about learning, learning, learning. It never stops.
are you software or hardware, or what sort of stuff do you develop?
Uh, sorry, can you
Well,
elaborate a little bit?
you told me that you were a developer,
Yeah,
right? So, like, my understanding of a developer is that you're making some new piece of software or a
yeah,
hardware item or a product of some
yeah,
kind.
yeah. Software, mainly website or apps, software, that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah,
Right.
please.
This is going back many years. I started a website called Traditional Music Library because at that time I was learning sort of folk music and playing the banjo and all that kind
Oh,
of thing.
beautiful.
And I was having a problem finding the tunes and such like. So I collected, like being quite good finding my way around the internet. I made this site with like it had about 10,000 pages with all sorts of songs and lyrics and music and chords and all sorts of stuff. And it was really popular and really successful. It made me quite a good amount of money for a while. And then that was using Google to monetize it. And then they started demanding more things, like your website has to have this and it has to have that, and
Yeah.
all of these very difficult things that I didn't want to get involved in doing those. So eventually, when they got too demanding, I thought, well, I'm just going to sell this website and let someone else have a go at it. So that's what I did, and I got a good price for it. And the bloke who bought it from me, he said, "Oh, no problem. I've got the best developers,
Mm-hmm.
But as it turned out, they weren't able to do it because this website of mine was really like it was done in raw HTML only.
Mm-hmm.
Like back it was started in the year 2000.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It was a
so
very early stage of the internet.
so I really know what that feeling is. You've got to know this stuff, otherwise we're not going to give you any money. We're going to
Yeah.
degrade your website. So, but anyway, that was you can follow that you can be driven by that sort of idea forever because you're never going to know everything. Some bugger's going to bring out something new that you've then got to learn. It's just pain in the butt. So, but yeah, I definitely felt inadequate about doing this website. But it was sort of obvious it wasn't a fault of mine. It's because some other bugger kept asking for more and more technology to be incorporated into it. So that was it.
Yeah, I think in my profession especially, it's very common to feel like this. There are a lot of forums and websites where developers meet and chat. There is always this discussion about imposter syndrome and the feeling of not being an imposter, of not knowing enough and faking it, continually faking it. because the field develops so fast, and I remember because I'm not that young, I remember that period of the internet, of the early stages of the internet that you were talking about, around the year 2000, when you developed and created stuff using only HTML. At the beginning there wasn't even CSS, so it was only HTML, then CSS, then all the JavaScript, and all the different technologies, and it always evolved uh, faster and faster and faster. I think over the last 20 years, there has been like an explosion of new technologies. There are like memes in my field that every week a new framework comes out. Every week a new a new technology comes out, and every week that new technology is the thing that you must know, because there is so much hype around all the new stuff, and so you always have this feeling of uh, having to catch up to the latest technologies and having to learn more and more. It never ends. There is so much stuff, and the field grew so big that one developer can't know. It needs to specialize in one specific thing, and it's not possible to know everything like, I don't know, 30 years ago. And so, yeah, I think it's a bad match between the characteristics of my job field and this conditioning that I'm dealing with. And so, yeah, it's so intense also because of the external circumstances. I feel it. I particularly feel it.
Yeah. The interesting thing for me though was that after I sold this website, the guy that I sold it to, he ran it for a few years. And then he was finding I presume that he was finding the demands of Google and whatever, like so difficult to meet, that he just let it close down.
Mm.
And like, because my name was still on the site, I had loads of people contacting me going, "Oh, where's your website gone? We used it all the time," and so on and so forth. Anyway, I said, "Look, it's not mine anymore," and I gave them the details of the guy who bought it. And the way that the story went after that was that someone else, like the guy who bought it from me, just passed it over to someone else and said, like, "Do what you like with it." Right. And they sort of paid for the hosting and everything. And it's there in its ancient state, more or less, with not really any advertising on it, because you can't have advertising like without the technology. But it was very appreciated by, all the people who were contacting me. So, well, I always went there for my lyrics or my chords or whatever it was. And as a consequence, it's still online now, sort of something like 26 years after its after it was in its inception. And if you want to look at it, it's traditionalmusic.co.uk.
Okay, I will look at traditionalmusic dot.
And it's still there, yeah. Well, it was last time I looked anyway.
What's the address? Traditional music?
Traditional music, all one word.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
Okay.
Unless they can obviously change the.
Yeah, I will check it. I will check it later.
I think it's probably still
Yeah, I will
there,
check it later. Yeah, lots of websites from that era. It was like a more innocent era of the web. Everyone, like, there were a lot of websites. Each one was different, less standards, and everyone like put. Me too. I remember it was like 97, 98. And indeed, I was maybe the first person in my classroom to have the internet. And I began developing like a website about the band Nirvana, the American band Nirvana, and with the translations of all lyrics in Italian made by myself in a very, very bad English, even worse than my English now. And at that time, it
That's
was
really
like the
interesting.
biggest website in Italy about the band, and that is lost now. I tried because it was like on GeoCities at that time. There was this community, and that is lost now. I tried to recover it a few years ago, but I couldn't find it anymore. So yeah, lots of websites from that era got lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting that it was kind of yours was a music one as well.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
always
look,
loved them.
we're still on here. I've just looked on my phone and it is still here.
Yeah, yeah, it's still there. I can see it. I will check it out later.
You found
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in my field, there is this pressure of continuously
But what you do is
staying up to speed.
just be the boss and hire some people to do it for you.
Yeah.
Because we can't go and carry on learning everything that like the billions of people on the planet have invented. It's impossible.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm interested, David, that you say quite clearly that the way the industry works, the new stuff that's coming out, that it's not possible for you to know everything. Even if you knew
No.
everything today, tomorrow you wouldn't, or next week you wouldn't. Right?
Exactly.
So you know quite clearly at an intellectual level that it's a crazy demand to put on yourself to know everything. You know that. Yet
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
you still
absolutely.
respond with that inadequacy, that feeling of something's wrong.
Yeah, there's always comparing my skill set and my knowledge to the one that my colleagues have and the people in my field have, always feeling like. And I know that part of it is all the hype that surrounds this new stuff, a lot of channels dedicated to
Yeah,
developers.
yeah,
They're always putting out new stuff, and also the social media.
yeah,
They emphasize all the new stuff. They
yeah,
there is also, but this also exists not only in my related to my job and my field. This happens to me also about like my passions or my hobbies or the things that I am supposed to know or to care about. There is this, as I told you before, it's connected to the need to like impress people and gain their respect and their love and their validation and their appreciation through my
yeah,
display of knowledge.
yeah.
That
Well,
that I
you're not going to get any love for that. You'll get approval, but not love.
mm, yeah, yeah, but it's like it's the only way, or it's the main way that I've learned over the years since I was very little, since I was like the best in my class in elementary school or in high school. I've always been like struggling to be the best in my classroom, just to have that appreciation, just to have that approval.
Mm.
That has always been one of the main ways of getting love. And so it's like it's
That's not love, is
the
it?
main strategy, the main thing that I do.
So how old, what comes to mind when I asked you, how old were you when this kind of thing started?
Elementary school, like from the beginning, I think, because I didn't go to kindergarten, so I just started directly in elementary school. And that in the first year, I struggled a lot, like accepting the big shift from staying home all day with my parents, and we lived in the countryside, so I didn't really have friends my age around. I didn't go to kindergarten, so I only had my sister and my brother to play with for since like 5 or 6 years, and then 6 years I began attending elementary school.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
the first year was very traumatic to me. Like I cried all year because I didn't want
yeah, yeah,
to be there. I wanted to go home. I didn't want to like all the other kids. It was scary being around so many other kids. From no one to from just my brothers to all these kids that I
yeah.
didn't know. And and then I started. But I was also a very curious kid. I already learned how to read and write before beginning elementary school. I learned like by myself. I was going to my mother and asking her to read me stuff, and then I by myself I repeated and started. I learned the reading and writing by myself,
Yeah.
and
How old
so
were you?
it immediately started. Yeah, sorry.
How old were you when you learned to read and write?
I think around 5, just before beginning. I remember me very. I was very little. I was already reading like books for kids and like illustrated books, and then we had an old encyclopedia at home. I was very curious, very, and so that began to pay as soon as I started attending elementary school. That my teachers noticed me immediately, and they like took me under their wing somehow, and so I began feeling also out of place because all those kids
Yeah,
scared me a lot,
yeah.
but
Special.
also
Yeah.
somewhat special because I was doing very good
As long as you kept
school.
it up, they kept.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
began that dynamic began there immediately. I can see that.
Mm.
I
So,
think I have a clue here. You're addicted to being special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also there's the fear of not being special or not being, yeah, because that's the way that I began receiving love since I was very little.
mm,
And also like going back to my house after school and showing my father like all the grades that I got, the very good grades, and like using those grades to get his approval, and he didn't seem to care a lot. Sometimes he didn't even notice, and so there was that dynamic at school. I was very uh, praised by my teachers, and at home I was being like neglected emotionally, and that the good grades worked at school but didn't work at home with my father because he wasn't very like impressed, or maybe he
mm,
didn't show it. He
mm,
wasn't
mm,
able to show appreciation, and yeah, I can see that dynamic
mm.
started there. It's so clear. It was a bad dynamic,
So it's
but that
interesting
stayed. That
that.
stayed for many years.
Mm. So it's interesting that it worked for your teachers, but not for your father.
Yeah, I remember my teachers being. I had two teachers at that time. One very sweet lady who taught us like literature and history and all the humanities, and another teacher who was a very like some kind of genius man, but in a very strange ways, because he had a very scientific mind, and he had built like um a greenhouse outside the school with tropical plants and tropical animals. And he saw that I was crying all because I wanted to go home. And so he started coming to my house and picking me up like on Sundays when school was closed, and taking me to the greenhouse to do experiments, because he saw that I was having like a hard time, and so I wanted to help me feeling more comfortable outside of the house. It was yeah, it was very. So I had two very good teachers. I have very fond memories of them, and and I felt loved by them. Yeah, and it was different at home, because at home I
Yeah.
felt
So
different.
did you ever reach a point where you got your father's approval?
No, no, never, never. He never expressed me any kind of
Mm,
approval ever, I think.
mm.
I mean, I know indirectly, maybe one time, I think my sister told me that my father uh, talked about me with his friends in very good using very good words, and so maybe outside, but not to me. Like maybe he
Yeah, yeah,
was talking about me with his friends and expressing me, and with good words, but never to me directly. Never told me directly, yeah, good job, or yeah,
yeah,
you're good
yeah.
at this, you're
Mm.
good at that. No, never, never in my life.
Right.
Not
So
one, not a single time.
could you get it at an intellectual level that you may still be trying to get your father's approval?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Somewhat, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can see it, because we have this very, very estranged relationship. We really have no uh, like we don't communicate a lot, and we don't express a lot. We don't talk about ourselves, only about like practical stuff, and very not very often we keep like there's this embarrassment and this wall of embarrassment and between us. Like he is a very close person to not close,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
very shy and silent person to.
yeah.
He
Private, very
has this
private. Yeah.
embarrassment to very quiet, very quiet.
Mm.
And yeah, we don't have a lot of
So do you
talking
find
going
that
on.
when you're with him, you become like him?
When I'm with him, yeah, somewhat, because it's like I can't express my emotional side when I'm with him.
Right, but he
I
doesn't
only
ask
talk
you
about.
to. In fact, he wants you to keep away from that side, right?
Yeah, I always talk about practical stuff
Mm.
when I'm with him,
Yeah,
and yeah. Yeah, there's it's like yeah, it's like all everything else doesn't matter to
yeah,
him. The only important things in life are being secure, having a secure job, having
yeah.
everything in
Mm.
place, being
In,
safe, not doing, yeah.
in fact, if you were to talk to him about your emotions, you would make him so uncomfortable he would shut you down, right?
He would try to, I think, minimize. And yeah, and try to bring back the discussion to the practical stuff, because yeah, all the problems are in fact I think he would try to convince me that all the problems are in fact practical problems, and so
Mm.
Like even emotional problems are in fact like practical problems, and so when you
Mm,
fix
mm.
your life like job wise, and have stability, and have
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
standard family with children and a wife and a house and a job, a secure job, everything is okay. It would try to, yeah, I think that is the he
Mm.
finds it strange that it's not a case. Me, my brother, my sister, all the three of us, we didn't marry, we didn't have children, we didn't like settle in the way he wanted us to settle. No, none of us
None of you,
settled
right?
down. None of us settled down in the way he expected us to settle
Yeah.
down.
So where do you fit with the two siblings? Are you the eldest, the middle, or the youngest?
The middle, I'm the middle one.
Yeah, the middle, right?
I have a bigger sister and a little brother. Yeah.
Younger brother, yeah.
Younger brother, yeah. Yeah, he's like a couple years younger than me, so we are not that far away, that far apart. And my brother, like his character, is very similar to my father.
Right.
Even thought I think that he is suffering too. He is suffering a lot. But we don't have
Yeah, no
a
way to
very close
express it.
relationship.
Yeah.
My sister is different because my sister, emotionally speaking, she's smarter
Mm.
than us, than my father, than me and my brother. My sister, she's more
Yeah.
open. She's more open,
She's
and
more
I
allowed
have
to express her emotions.
yeah, and I have a better relationship with her, and
Mm.
yeah.
How often would you see your father?
Um, I think about once a month, something like that.
Mm.
Even thought we live very close. It's not like it's like 10 minutes from me, from my
Mm.
house.
Mm. Mm. So what happens when you get triggered into this I'm not enough, I'm inadequate thing? How do you know that you're in that state?
Because there is these bodily sensations, these feelings, contraction here in the chest, in the throat. I immediately feel this activating, this area activating, and there is yeah, the word is fear and shame mainly, but in the body it expresses with these sensations,
Mm.
and then
Mm.
the more the story goes on, the more these sensations, if I
Yeah,
focus on the sensations, they usually disappear slowly
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a few
So
minutes.
would you get triggered into experiencing this mostly at work or at home or in social situations?
I would say that I experience them everywhere, everywhere. Like when I meet new people, when I have to deal with clients, when I have to deal with also when I meet my father, when I go to their home and meet my family, when in a lot of situations, every social situations, I would say,
Mm.
except maybe less with my girlfriend. It happens less, even thought sometimes but it's more less intense, very less intense. But there are situations in which, for example, when we meet with her friends, or when we and there is something in which, because it's also related to the idea of being a man And so when she's not very rigid, like with like roles and that stuff, but when I feel that I should be the man in certain circumstances, yeah, that happens, and the contraction appears.
Okay, so I'm hearing now something a little bit new, and that is that it has to do with your expression of masculinity.
Yeah, also because yeah, it's also my father, like the figure, its figure. He was a very old school. He is a very old school kind of man. So he everything is about having a family and
Yeah, the social
being
rules.
responsible and like showing a very good facade to
Mm,
everyone, to the people in the
mm.
city, being respected. Very, very old school kind of.
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of puts you in a funny situation, doesn't it? You kind of got to have a foot in both worlds. So you got, on the one hand, you got that old school conservative way of looking at things, and then on the other hand, you know about other stuff. The more,
Yeah,
yeah,
there are these voices in my head, and I can see that these are my father's voice, but I don't feel like that. I feel someone else.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not like him. I'm not like him at all.
No, no. And yet it's crazy that even though you're not like him, you don't even approve of a lot of the way he is, you still seek his approval.
Because it's so I mean, when I have these sensations and these stories and these fears, the fear of not being enough, it's so automatic and deep that even thought I see that it comes from my father and the relationship I had with him.
Yeah, it still happens.
It's yeah, but it's a voice that it's like it doesn't belong to anyone. It's just there. It's just here.
Mm,
It's not my father's voice. It's not my voice, but it's a voice. So it's a powerful voice that's inside here,
mm,
and it's very deep, very very deeply rooted.
mm,
It's always been here since I was a little kid. Always been here. Always been automatic. Always been present. It's always been here.
and it has authority. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It is authority. Yeah, yeah. It feels like I need to respect. Yeah, there is the need to respect that voice because yeah, it's like it's on a higher level than me.
Yeah, like it's
I need
God's
to
voice.
respect that voice. Yeah.
Would you go as far as to describe it as God's voice?
Uh, it's like it's society's voice. It's the voice of the whole society. It's the
Yeah.
voice of
So if it's the voice of society, it's all about how things should be. It's all about the rules and regulations and what's acceptable and not acceptable. Is it? Would you say that's true?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the voice that tells me how to be in order to be accepted
Mm,
and loved and
yeah. But that voice doesn't belong to you, does it? It's not your internal voice. Your internal voice says, I know better. I know other stuff. But that voice doesn't, does it?
Yeah, that voice, it seems like it doesn't care
Mm.
about
Yeah,
what I feel like.
yeah.
It
That's
only
just
knows about
that's woke
what
stuff.
what's accepted and what's not accepted.
Mm. And we won't have any of that woke stuff.
It's very focused on being a very what's the word in English? A very a member of society that knows
Yeah,
its
yeah,
place, that doesn't go outside
yeah. An
the
upright citizen.
boundaries. Yeah, yeah. A model member of society, a model
Mm.
citizen, a model like my father, like my father.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you see, I'm having trouble reconciling the fact that you see that. You can see how that is superficial in a lot of ways. You can see how that ignores your humanity, and yet it still seems to be a compulsion that you satisfy that voice.
Because there is that belief, I think, that is the only way that this can be loved, by being that
Mm,
model citizen, that model member of
yeah.
society. That is the
But
way to get love.
okay, answer me this. Do you think your father feels loved?
Uh,
He
it's a
does it
very hard
all correctly,
question.
doesn't he?
It's a hard question because uh, obviously people have a good opinion about him. Like everybody sees that he has been a very hard worker all his life, that he
Mm.
never caused troubles to anyone, that he is a responsible father outside of the house. Is seen as
Right.
a very
But
responsible father.
you didn't answer my question. Do you think he feels loved?
He feels loved.
Loved. Do others love him?
I think he feels loved. I'm not sure by my sister, yeah, because my sister, she's the kind of person who like sacrifices herself
Mm.
for other people, and so
Yeah, she'll love him
that's
no matter
her,
what. Yeah.
yeah, that's her strategy. That's her way of
But I'm not saying do other people love him. I'm saying do you think
if
he
he feels
feels
love.
loved? Yeah. Does he believe that he is loved?
I'm not sure about that. I am not. I can't say that. Maybe no. Maybe not. Maybe it's too busy, like keeping himself occupied,
Yeah,
that
exactly. Yeah.
he doesn't like
Right.
he doesn't asks himself if he is loved, or if
Yeah, he doesn't go there. Yeah.
he doesn't go there. Yeah, I don't think he goes there often. I'm not
Mm.
sure. Maybe he wants to be loved too, maybe, but I'm sure. But
Oh, of course he does. Yeah, but
I'm not sure that he feels
um,
loved.
so
But
can you get that if you were to be like him, that it's you're still going to feel lonely and inadequate?
Yeah, I can see that also because he is a lonely person too. Like
Mm,
he has some. I don't think he has very strict, very close friends. He
mm,
has like friends that he meets at the bar, at the local pub, and has
yeah,
that kinds of relationships or like colleagues
yeah, yeah.
from
People at
his
work,
job,
whatever.
or
Yeah, yeah,
because he's
yeah.
not a very conscious person, emotionally speaking. Like he doesn't have uh, this. I don't think he ever asks himself if he feels loved or not.
No, of course not. No, of
So
course not. Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
conscious about this kind of stuff.
So
And
would
so,
you?
yeah, he is lonely. He is lonely because after our mother died, like more than 20 years ago, like 25, more than 25 years ago, he never remarried. He never, I think he only recently started this strange relationship with another woman, but he never like we never met her. We don't really know who she is. He's a very secretive kind of guy. It's like he has the same stuff going on as me because he's ashamed too of being seen. He has the same kind of shame, I think, of being seen, of exposing himself, of opening to other
Mm,
people. So, but he never worked with that. He's not conscious of being like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So would it be accurate to say that you now recognize that there's a whole dimension to existence, to your life, that he isn't even going there. He doesn't even
Yeah, I
he
would
doesn't
say
acknowledge it.
the most part of my life, he knows almost nothing about myself, about my
Mm,
passions, about what I am, my emotions, my history, all the relationships that I had. I had like a few very important and long relationships in my life with some women. He knew almost nothing. Like he met my previous girlfriends, but he never like wanted to really know them. It was very formal, very superficial. Even thought like my these women wanted to know more about him, but he really felt very embarrassed in those occasions when I
mm,
brought
mm.
home women and girls, and he always felt very, I think, yeah, shameful, or I don't know. He wanted he didn't want to have to do
Yeah, yeah.
with that stuff. The only things he wants to know is if we are still together or not. Like,
Mm,
because if we break up, it's a failure. If we are
mm.
together, it's all good because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
satisfies
That
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 picture.
narrow.
Yeah, that picture
Yeah.
of having a family and children, house and job,
Mm,
and it's okay. That very,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So the only
But
thing that matters is if we are together, or if
yeah,
we are
but you know that there is so much more than this, don't you?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You do.
Like
Yeah,
99% of what I am is like he knows
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
And the few times that I tried like talking, because maybe we were together, me, my father, and my sister, and so I'm talking about something else, so like hobbies and passions. He stays silent. He doesn't know what to say, what to do. Even like just asking questions, he seems not interested.
Mm,
He seems very distant. and like that doesn't like and gives away the impression that these things that don't matter,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
99% of what I am doesn't matter, only that 1%
yeah,
that has to do with my job and
yeah.
and
So
me
he stays
feeling
in
that
the
people.
safe territory, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
he,
mm.
he
So
only.
so what about this? What he approves of or doesn't approve of is a bit accidental. And if he says, "Are you still with your girlfriend?" and you say yes, he approves of that,
Mm-mm.
right? But then he
Yeah,
doesn't go any further, does he? He doesn't want to know
no,
about
no, he
happiness.
doesn't ask her how she's doing. No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
nothing
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you know how to please him when it doesn't cost you anything to just talk about work, talk about whatever, talk about successful stuff, and then that pleases him. But then you've got all this rest of your life that he doesn't even know about. He doesn't know exists, right?
Yeah.
And that's what fills it out for you. That's what gives you a much richer experience of life than what he's getting. We can presume. We don't really know what he's getting,
Yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, a part of me is sad but for him because
Yes, yeah, of course.
there is
Yeah.
so much that he has not like explored in life or doesn't know about
Yeah. And he
himself as
probably
a
never
child.
will, right? Good chance he never will go there.
No, because like
Yeah. He wants
he's
to,
80.
yeah, he wants
He's
to stay safe. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he will stay safe until the end of his life, I think, and he will
Mm,
never
mm.
venture out because he lived all his life like this.
Yeah, yeah. So at this level that we're talking about, you quite clearly see his limited resources, his limited ability to relate at another level. You quite clearly see that. And yet there's a part of you that wants to be approved by that. Maybe would you
Yeah,
imagine that you'll never ever get the kind of approval that you're after because you can't be the kind of person that he wants you to be?
no,
And
I know.
you wouldn't
Part
want
of
to be
me
that.
says that it's impossible to be like he
Exactly. Yeah.
wants.
And it's also unhealthy because you're only going to be
Yeah.
putting part of yourself out there, a tiny part of yourself. Yeah. So where at what point does David become his own authority about what's okay and what's not okay?
Because I feel like in that 99% of me that my father doesn't want to know about or doesn't know about or doesn't care about, in that part, I know better than him.
Yeah,
I
right.
know better than him.
So you can be your own authority in that area.
Yeah. In that area, absolutely. It's the part that maybe it's a little bit more than 1%, but it's the part that my father knows about that it's the problematic part. Because in that part, like in my job or in having like a stable and traditional life, I need to conform to my father's picture. That residual part of me
Right.
that is also it's also a big part. I mean, maybe I underestimated it like by saying that it's only 1%. It's more than 1%.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like
sure.
your
Yeah, yeah.
job and your the way you settle down and you build your life, that can be important. And it's important. You can't you can't diminish the importance of having a job, having stability. My father is right in some ways, and it's important to have a stable job and a stable, maybe sentimental life, and something to care about in life. Maybe it's a little bit different from what he thinks, and also the times changed from when he was younger and when he uh, began doing his job, and the way he relates to his job. And so yeah, his picture, he's a little bit dated. It's not possible to have it, to fulfill it today. But in that area, when it's stuff that he knows nothing about, yeah, I know much better than him. But when he stuff that it is very confident about, his confident voice still seems to get at me, to overpower me sometimes, to have more authority, like you said before. Like the word authority, yeah, I think that's a very good pointer, because thinking about it in those terms, yeah, it's like this voice has authority. And the concept of authority, I see how it is problematic. It's empty if you think about it as you need to listen to other people because they know better. It makes little sense or no sense at all. Authority, I have a different definition maybe of authority than the one my father has. Because my father always cared about other people's opinion. I remember when we were children, we were little kids, we used to play in the backyard of our house, and the backyard of our house was always a little bit messy with all of stuff around, but the front of the house where people passed and people could see, that was the part of the house my dad cared much more about. Not the part where we kids played, but the part that people could see, even if nobody played in front of the house. We always played in the back. And the part that always had to be pristine and in very good conditions was the front of the house. And I remember like getting a little bit angry when I was a kid, because it seemed that he didn't care about like I don't know, helping us having a better space to play, or he cared that we cleaned the front of the house. If we cleaned the back, me and my brother cleaned the backyard of the house, he didn't care. He wanted us to clean the front of the house, because that was the part where other people passed, and the part that it didn't matter. The part where we played and where we spent time didn't matter. It mattered the other part. Yeah, I always remember this. So yeah.
Yeah, people's opinion and appearances.
Yeah. But yeah, I have a different definition of authority, because for me, authority comes from someone who really cares about that particular thing. I don't know, a person that, for example, Rod was talking about traditional music. He has authority about traditional music because he loves the matter, he loves the field, and so he has authority because it comes from caring about something to the point that you get to know it because you care about it. And so that's the authority. It's not about moral authority, moral, or having like society having moral laws and moral authority because you need to conform to the values that society wants you to conform, but it's more about love and loving something to the point that you take care, have care about that thing, and so you become an authority out of love by loving something.
Yeah, that's a different kind of authority. That's more about competency.
Yeah, for example, the authority that, I don't know, a yoga teacher might have because he has spent years and years perfecting his
Yeah,
craft and loving it, and or a musician might have because he loves music, or even
yeah.
like
So
a
competence.
woodworker might have because he really loves his craft.
Mm,
Something that comes out of loving what you
yeah.
do. That is
Mm.
authority.
But the authority that we're talking about with your father is much more about exercising boundaries.
Yeah, because he has no love for things. As I said, he has no real passions or hobbies or things that he
Mm.
cultivated in his life
Yeah.
except his job. He never cultivated anything else. In his free time, he just went to the pub and like playing cards and watching
Yeah, yeah,
football
yeah.
games and like
Mm.
stuff like that. But he never had like a passion in his life. I mean, I'm sorry because in these last meetings, I'm taking up so much of your time, and there are other people that want to talk to you. And so, yeah, maybe we can continue next time. I don't want to.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That certainly clarified some stuff for me. And I imagine that it might have even clarified some stuff for you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, even that idea of a different kind of authority, yeah. I I am noticing it for the first time now. And that, yeah, that seems something important to look into.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Vince. Thank you so much.
How have you been, Max?
Hi Vince. Hi David. Hi Jen.
Hi, Max.
I've been in many ways. It's been quite a roller coaster. Um, I have lots of sensations coming up every day, and yeah, it's from from morning till night, it's a very, very dense, very full days, even if there is not much apparently happening for me inside. It's quite
Mm.
quite something. And there is not much stories or words that I can seem to put on these sensations. Maybe sometimes they are not pleasant, or sometimes more pleasant. Mostly not pleasant. But at the moment they come up, I don't see anything to say about. I feel I'm out of words. Even like I often wish to find help or talk to anybody, but I just don't know what to say that would be actually sounding like some kind of truth. So I
Mm.
just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting thing.
Mm.
How difficult is it?
Sometimes,
Sorry?
sorry, go on. No, go on, go on.
I was going to say, how difficult is it to know that there is something that you would like to express, but not knowing what that is or how to do it? Just that there is something that you would like to get out
Yeah,
in some way, yeah?
yeah. And I don't know, after some time, there is some relaxation or some clarity that comes. And it happens so many times now that I I don't know, I think I'm kind of giving up on talking,
Mm.
at least. Like I don't know. I have no way to know if I'm going the right way, the wrong way, or what is even happening. Uh, it's just I just watch and I'm utterly lost, but not so worried.
Mm.
Sometimes peacefully lost, sometimes stressfully lost. But yeah, just um,
So when you get this feeling that there's nothing to do, nothing can be said, nothing is going to satisfy. How,
yeah.
how do you respond to that? What happens when that turns up for you? You go, well, it's
It's
just the way it is, and you just accept it, or do you feel inadequate?
it takes usually some quite significant steps to reach acceptance, I would say, but uh, it ends there. Yeah, like okay, if I cannot do anything, if I don't know what to do,
Mm,
I might just let it be. Then I don't have. It's good. It's just freedom. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So would you describe any of that as suffering?
Uh, I would describe it as suffering for up until the part where I'm okay with it.
Mm,
But it's like I am finding an endless well of things I am not okay with. So I am every day confronted with how I'm suffering, and yeah.
Mm. But you can,
I am
you could, you go on.
I am there seems also to be something that changes in the background is my responses to things coming up are somehow more uh, calm or more like it's divided by the number of experience I already had. The intensity to which I would freak out now is like okay, I've seen some things already, so this is a new one. It's also unbearable and absolutely insane, but it must be just like
Mm. Mm.
somehow another thing.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
But I'm not quite like it. I say that, but with no certainty that the next thing
Of
I
course.
will actually. It's like
Mm.
I'm kind of thinking back of my head like watch your words because you have no idea of what you're talking about.
Mm.
It's like the definition of what's bearable is being redefined and updated. So it's like you were about to say something.
I've forgotten what it was now. That's okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, my memory also seems to be changing a lot. The way I relate to time is, I don't know if it's super fast or super slow or
Yep. Yep.
like,
Yeah, I definitely get that one. Yeah. Yeah. So there seems to be a level of equanimity runs through all of your life. Would that be accurate?
yes, definitely, yes. There are things that I see in in the level of contractions I have when something that I don't know, something falls from the table, for example, or I think I lost my keys, or these kind of things used to have like full body answers, like, oh my God, fuck, where is it? Now it's just like, so what?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
maybe,
Okay.
yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe someone stole the phone. Okay, yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
believe it, but yeah,
Good stuff. Yeah.
it's like it doesn't even touch compared to the things I'm going through. It's like, man, I
Yeah.
couldn't care less. Like
Mm.
I still care, but very
Yeah.
less.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just determining. It sounds to me like things are working quite well for you. That there is movement, there is
Yeah.
mindfulness, there is stuff is happening. Okay. Does that feel like that for you?
Yes. Sure. Yes. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it gets a bit active sometimes, doesn't it?
I, Yes, it does. It's little to say. Yeah, it's
See,
yeah.
the big thing
Like,
with all of this stuff with people who are seeking and that is that they want explanations. They want to understand and they want explanations. And that doesn't seem to be an issue for you. You know, that whatever
no,
turns
no,
up, it's whatever turns up. It's just what's there. That seems to be the way I get what you're saying. This is pretty
yeah.
good.
I spent I, I don't know. I'd like to say that I've spent quite some time with the military, an army in my head. Like, if there was a thought, kind of, no, no, no. And now this has also relaxed, but I think it has helped me somehow to detach from them at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
And now it's there is still explanations coming up and many stories coming up, but I see more that they are stories.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
of them,
Yeah. So you hold them lightly.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
Mm.
I can see that because my what I'm going through right now is also happening in a context, in a social context, in a family, because I came back to live at my father for 2 months now, and I also see my mom and some other family members, and I don't display the most conventional social behavior.
Mm.
I,
Which does that? Do you
I
find that threatens them?
I suppose because when I try, because I don't try much to talk about this, I try little bit sometimes when I see it's possible. There is often a willingness to intervene, interfere, or do something about my state, even in subtle ways and in, I think, well-intended ways. But there is still like underneath, I feel fear or something in need of not accepting that I am like that I am
Okay.
sad,
Yeah.
sad and on the floor and crying and at rage in my pillow, or like, yeah, it's only when I come to big places like this that I hear that it's actually okay, that I'm not experiencing something inhumane.
Mm.
And I even sometimes talk to therapists, and like I feel they're telling me to change, to do something about
Yeah, yeah. They want to fit you back into that mold.
yeah, like get, but I inside I think it's okay, like there's nothing
Of
wrong
course it
with
is.
this. It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not hitting myself or anybody.
Mm.
I It's just that they don't want to see in themselves, so they don't want to see in me.
Yeah, of course.
I think
Yeah.
so. So yeah,
It's a big thing for us. You know, how do we relate to that world and to this world? You know, that's the thing, and it's not they're not really separate, but they are in a way. It's useful to see them as two separate worlds. And one of them, you have that very conventional way that people say we should be, which
mm,
ignores all of the humanity, all of being
yeah,
human. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet when we acknowledge that side of us, we alienate those people that are defensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you say that again? If you can.
I'll just wait till the video unfreezes.
Close.
Yeah, no, you're okay, you're
Yeah.
back there. Yeah. So when you've got people that are steeped in the conventional way of being,
Mm.
you can see that they don't acknowledge a whole lot of this stuff that we talk about. It doesn't exist for them. They don't want to know about it. They don't. That they're never going to see things the way we see things.
Yeah. But it's not yet clear to me. Like I still have so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like I can feel in my body there is lots of resistance still. It's insane and like I kind of still pretend that some part of me are not okay
Mm.
or believe, maybe not pretend but believe.
Yeah.
Like when people start wanting to change me, I somehow maybe there is something in what they say, like, because I feel also in me there is a part of I know better.
Mm.
You were saying that before, but there is like there is egoic thing. I don't know if it's egoic, but I believe it is. It's something like like I talked with a woman recently, and I could see that I was somehow entering in rivalry with her, trying to be defensive when she was talking about therapy and things like that. Somehow I don't. It's like I found a more direct way to look into myself in meditation and somatic practices, but also there is doubt that maybe there is something there that I am against, or I kind of, or maybe yeah, again, that just the doubt is the problem.
Yeah. So what comes to mind is that we all carry around inside us
Mm.
some picture of how we think we should be. And
Mm.
when we see that picture, we
Mm.
recognize that it's what we've been taught. It doesn't really acknowledge the way we actually are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, just as it's not our job and we don't want to influence somebody that has that worldview, that more conventional worldview,
Mm.
unless they ask for help, we're not going to offer help. We're not going to try and improve their life, even if we see them suffering, even if we can see that their suffering is self-induced. We're not going to do anything about it. We can't. It's not our job to do anything about it unless they ask for help, in which case that's a different situation. But at the same time, how do we not diminish the extra stuff that we know about what they're missing out on, what actually fleshes out life to make it really full and
Yeah.
really rich?
Yeah. Because I so much feel that I'm helping people when I'm my direct family, when I create conflict by being authentically myself. Like there is situations that arise that I'm being reproached, that I am at fault, and as I receive this, I I am in the capacity of going deeper into what's being provided to see what's underneath.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
it's rarely well received. It's rarely easy experience for my mother, for my father. For it's not nice moment, but I know what's behind in my experience. I know that's they what I want for me. That's what it changed my life for the better in a way that it is what I was looking for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is this push it really wants to, yeah, to help or to, yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
It's like I say that often now. Like the more I go, the less I wish what I'm going through to anyone, but I would not trade it for anything.
Yes.
But also like so it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of pushing other people into pain because it's there. That's what's at play between them and me and the world, and I don't know. But I most of the time I don't have much time to focus on other people at the moment.
Mm.
Like only if it comes to me, I deal with it. But I used to have this thing with my dad where I am constantly thinking about if I did good enough, if I did enough, if I watching my doing um for him, and now I just don't have the time. And so I noticed that like I expect good, like oh, he must be, if I don't hear anything from him, he must be thinking good, there is no problem, there is no,
Mm.
and it's absolutely not the case, because after some time he tells me that he's been resentful, or I hear from other people that he complained to about. So but I only deal with it when it comes. I don't have capacity or bandwidth to think about it. Most of the time,
Mm.
I am completely with my sensations and mm,
Yeah.
bloody fullness.
Mm.
Uh, there is still this. I don't know. The most painful story at the moment is that I'm not loving enough. That I'm not. I'm, I'm not. My heart is not open enough. My there is not enough capacity of love in me. Like it's recent stories because it's only since I started getting into spirituality that I think about that. never was in my brain before. Never came.
Mm.
Now it's the thing that when I feel uncomfort, there is often this story of you're never loved enough. You're never, you're hateful now, so you won't be. You won't be loving.
So what brings on these stories? What stimulates them?
Some sensations, some uncomfort,
Mm.
yeah, it's, but yeah, I mean, I say that, but yeah, I think it doesn't matter.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
like I don't want to get into dismantling or um, the story is, yeah, maybe also getting into details. I like when you say this. Like, what am I scared of? Not loving. Like I want to achieve.
Say that again.
I want to achieve.
You want to receive.
Achieve.
Achieve, yeah.
Achieve something.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to achieve?
I guess being with the whole heart open and
Mm.
accepting everything. And, yeah, probably not feeling bad, which I am doing. Like in reality, it's the opposite, but I am mostly feeling difficult things. I have a lot of confusion. Also, something that worries me a lot is like when I start feel something, like I'm hiding. I don't want to. I'm hiding something. When Davide was saying before the fear to be seen, yeah, I think there is some of that sometimes, but it seems very, very fleeting. Like it comes up and disappear immediately, and like I think there is something in me that is like there is one chance, and it's a very, very fast. Like I have to catch it, otherwise it's lost for days or weeks or years, or and Like the it's now or maybe never. And so at the moment it rises, or I feel the premises of a little something, it gets there and then disappears like into nowhere to be found place.
Mm. Mm.
Where like I feel there is a lot of stress and tension around when I hear myself talking about this. Like it's like if I have this relationship to this, it can never flower or display itself. Um, uh, when I talk about all this, I really don't know if I am creating a story, like I'm just making something up, and I am here and talking and talking and talking, and actually none of that matter, and it's just gonna be shown to me at the moment it's ready and how it's gonna be, and there is no business just talking about this or
Mm.
trying to trying. There is just sit down, relax, and do as you can. You will see. Don't be don't be so trying. Because
What
I
about,
talk to you and I see, sorry, I talk to you and I see that I kind of expect you to give me something that will help my. It's the thing that I'm trying to say that I cannot say.
yeah, I get that. Do you get that you're telling yourself what you need to hear?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if have I got your email address? I'll
I registered to.
actually this one gets published. So
I registered.
if you go and look at this video afterwards, oh, I've done it again. I forgot to turn on the recording.
Mm,
Okay. Go and look at this video after it gets published tomorrow and watch yourself.
mm,
Listen to yourself. Listen to what you're saying, and you will
okay.
discover stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
I've
mean,
done that.
you know. I imagine that you know
Mm,
nothing can be wrong.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything that turns up has some value for you.
Sure. 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 Sure.
And the way I understand you respond to what comes up, I think is really healthy and good. You're not
Okay.
critical of it as such. You're interested in it, and that's good value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a heavy bitterness and heavy negativity sometimes about it. Like
Sure, but
I'm
that's
not.
also what just turns up, isn't it?
Sure. 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 Yeah. Any data. Mhm. Yes. Yeah, I feel there is something in me that really wants to help and feed and kind of reach this process. And another thing that is just like, man, just don't
It's
bother
okay.
with this.
Yeah.
Just,
Mm.
you're 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 the subject, but you're out of you're missing the point. Oh yeah,
Mm.
like where the attention, it's like where the attention comes from and not where it goes. That's that
Yeah.
I'm interested. That seems to, yeah. It's, uh,
Mm.
it's really, it's really, no, right now it's mostly funny, but it's like this beautiful thing in the palm of my hand, and I really want to catch it. I really want to take a hold of it. The second I do that,
Yep. It's like trying to hold on to water.
yeah. Uh, mm. And it's so raw, like right now I am, or it's been reducing now, but for some months I was like doing some kind of inquiry with sexual energy and the power of it, like the, yeah, basically I always felt like there was something happening at the verge of orgasm, at the moment where it's not going, but just right before. And that there was a lot of fear at this moment, a lot of I don't know, not necessarily, yeah, construction, a lot of, I don't know, basically a bulk of energy in my body that seems like meditation, like there is a lot of tension and it's unclear. It's not really, it's just, yeah, like it's complex.
Mm. Mm.
Uh, and I really don't know if I'm, at the beginning it was like hurting my body. I felt I was really like gonna damage the body, but actually not at all. And now my whole body has relaxed, I don't know, tremendously in that
Yeah.
area or this, but still it's not at all relaxed completely.
Mm.
But there is so much shame in society or taboo about this that even in spirituality, it's just like very, I don't know, shamed or not supposed to be, or I don't know. You're not, I feel I'm just exploring my body in a way that I never really
Yeah.
allowed myself to do. And, and now I'm doing it, and I can hear these, all the, like, all the shame, feel all the shame about just movements. It's
Yeah.
just like, there is pleasure, yes, but there is a, I mean, I'm not doing anything bad or wrong. Like,
Yeah.
just human thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a
It's
lot of that
so,
around. Yeah.
yeah,
It seems to me to be valuable also to recognize that what we're talking about is humanity. We're talking about human stuff. We're talking about being healthy. We're not
Mm.
we're not really talking about spiritual stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You know that a healthy organism is a fairly relaxed organism. There is,
Yes,
there is
definitely.
tension only when it's required. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and I don't need so many tensions to do the things that I was doing the way I was doing it. I
Yes.
don't need to mobilize
Yep.
70% of the leg to climb the stairs. It's
Mm.
the- like now I do things. I carry heavy stuff, and I just let it hang on my shoulder, and my arm is basically dead. I mean, I'm sure there is a lot still going on, but a lot have relaxed,
Mm.
and it's much effortful to do things. It's much less tiring, just tiring
Yeah.
to just be.
Yeah. And it's resistance where most of the exhaustion comes from. Getting tired
Yes,
is, yeah, when we resist
yes.
things, don't want it to be. Mm.
Until, uh, I really like words are very funny because oftentimes, like I say to myself, I can't believe I I see I see what's going on in my body. I'm alone somewhere. And I say to myself, I can't believe if I was not watching, if I was not seeing it happening, I literally could not
Mm.
believe.
Mm.
And
Yeah. Yeah. That's an amazing thing.
that's funny because yes, that's actually
There you go.
gone. Yeah, it's but I guess that's what reality is about. Is you cannot believe it because it's real.
Yeah. That seems to be a really big part of this whole thing is discovering stuff that we didn't know, stuff we didn't never noticed, just
Yeah,
discovering.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like even discovering our
I,
capacity for what used to be called pain. It all changes all the time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like the first time I went through something really difficult, I was already saying it cannot be the way. I cannot believe this. This I have to go there. I, I can't. I just can't. And I did it, or it happened. And now looking back on that moment, seems like I don't, it's just so many things already happened every day or almost every day. Like like the yeah, it's just properly unbelievable.
Mm.
Like I even forgot. I like the things they disappear, and I maybe no, I don't even remember that was one thing that left that was somehow more difficult than other. Maybe I remember the first time or the second time,
Yeah.
but then now it's like it's normal things. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I said that recently, like it was a normalize the agony. You know, like okay, yeah, it's just the 10:30 morning agony, and at 11 I'm gonna have some tea. And there will be, maybe it will be completely gone, or maybe I will have to go 10 times or 100 times on it, but I don't see anything else
Yeah.
to do anyway, because looking back, there's
Yeah.
just more of doing with it as it was not there. So, and if I don't even know I can stop anything at this point. It's just like
Mm.
I sit anywhere, in any context, any situation, I sit and it starts happening, or things are happening. So
Mm.
something that still worries me is that idea that I am avoiding living my life, that I'm avoiding taking responsibility, taking I don't know, like charge of my life, having income, even though I have some savings. There is no immediate money issue, but like yeah, having stability, but I don't feel very stable right now. I mean, I feel serene, like not really. There is worry sometimes about things, but also this people part, like it's gonna be okay. Doesn't matter. It's
Mm.
not about that. It's not about something that I put in place. So I go from, oh, I should be doing something, or no, man, it's full freestyle. It's okay. Enjoy. You don't have to know. You cannot know. So full
Yeah.
freestyle. That's what you always wanted. Continuous, full freestyle life where you don't know anything, and it's really like exciting like this, or at least alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I have to, I think they will, it will clarify. I, I think what I really avoid, usually at some point, I see that I avoid it. Like it, my resistance to it strengthens. I feel it more. So at this time, I know that okay, this you know you have to do something.
Mm.
Tell me something, Vince. Help me. Help me. Give me the manual. You have the manual, I know. Give the manual. Don't hold it.
When I say, the way I see it is, you're doing absolutely fine. You're perfect in what's going on for you. How do you react to that?
I'm happy because I have a good point from the teacher. I'm very good. But then after some time, I know that I will look at what you said as, oh, maybe there was some irony, or maybe there was something that that he gave to my mind to chew on, and so like my ego got excited about something. So basically, that's what I need to look at, like what this little part that needs some external validation to
Mm,
to somehow to somehow be okay or be better.
yeah. But that's where I was saying about your trust in that your being knows what is
Mm-hmm.
required. What
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
up is exactly what is required, what you need
yeah,
for
yeah.
this moment. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
the and all I can do is say maybe offer some tool to relate to whatever comes up. But you don't need anything. You're doing a really good job of all of that.
Yeah, 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 sure.
So what I want to see
Mm,
will come eventually is a
mm,
trust that you do know what you need to know.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because there is in me something that is like
Yeah,
that I know, or that is, I know, I feel, and
yeah,
I am sure it's there.
yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel it, but there is
That's right.
something there,
Exactly.
like,
It comes and goes, but when you look, you know that you can find that
mm,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what you
But
know
I
is
also don't want,
that you know nothing. You know that you know nothing, but that's enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like everything that pops up, I see it popping up, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
good,
Okay. Yeah.
good attempt, but also not. And but I don't want, like, I'm fearful of this thing transforming into kind of I'm above teachers, or I know better. You don't tell me anything, or like kind of being inflated or too proud or too
Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I know that. I know that one. Yeah. But you can
because
see, if you look, you can see quite clearly that although you might know different things to other people, none of that makes you special.
mm, no, everything I know makes me closer to them, or the same, or
Yeah.
everything I really deeply experience, getting me like closer to my peers is it's 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 in everybody, like it's
Yep.
yeah, if I
Everybody and
know it,
everything as well.
everybody what,
And
and
everything.
everything, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. But because I see in me oftentimes when I'm in a certain social groups, although it's quite rare for sometimes now, but it happened last week, where when we start talking about life and depth and what's the experience, the difficulty, and blah blah blah, I want to talk. Like I want to teach, or I want to
Yep.
like I want to be seen as wise. Also, I think
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but there is some of this. There is like I take space to yeah to display my knowledge
Mm.
and.
You'll get over that.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
already
your knowledge? Your knowledge is only information, is it not?
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But I want to try to convey through
Yes.
words, which it's not possible.
You
Like
want
kind
to
of orient people to something like, because when I talk about not talking. I talk about words, thank you, but also you cannot do much. I it's like yeah yeah.
Thank you, Max.
Yeah, thank you, Vince. Thank you.
How are you, Jane?
Hi, Vince. Hello, Max. It was
Hello.
nice to listen to Max talking. Very nice. And when David was talking earlier, I thought he was talking about me, father and relationships, and yeah, same type of issues. I was, but then one good thing I feel is I'm not taking it too seriously. It's not a project for me to pursue. It's happening, and that's fine. It's like I had this contraction, and I was noticing it for days, and a few things came up, and one of the things that struck me is um, dependence in relationships. And I kind of looked at the relationships, and I read your story, like relationships are mirrors, right? So I looked at it, and I'm laughing at it because I have a part of me that's exactly like my father.
Don't we all? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's still very demanding and very structured in his thinking and so on. Now he's in bed, and I look after him, and I'm being a father to him. Exactly like
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly like
really
when
weird
he,
when your parents become like your children.
yes.
Yeah.
And I get triggered so much by them. I scream at them sometimes, both my father and my mother, but it's becoming less serious. I used to feel guilt and blame, and I feel guilt first and I blame them. And now it's becoming very light in that sense.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's really excellent. When you know, none of this life deserves serious. It's all very lighthearted. I'm sure that mankind and animal kingdom and plant kingdom and anything that's in existence was God's joke. God was really Monty Python. But that's just a way of saying there's a novelty to discovering what turns up, what's going on, what happens.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Then I was looking at how does this codependency and influence my day-to-day experience. So I found that I have a tendency towards sadness and negativity. And I found that, yeah, maybe it comes from there. And then using these meetings to reinforce my belief that for a shift to happen, I need to sacrifice. I need to go through all these difficulties. So it kind of goes together, all the life circumstances and my beliefs and this attending meetings and looking for something. I said, yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like everything is an opportunity, you know, and in that one there is an opportunity to consider cause and effect, you know, because we think the past causes the present and the present causes the future. We
Yeah.
think that this happening causes that response, and so on. But that's we can only get our mind around it at a really simplistic level. As soon as we recognize the complexity of it, it becomes too much to even think about. And then we can just shrug our shoulders and go, well, it's just the way it is. We don't know what that is, but we know it is the way it is. And there's no choice but to hold it lightly because we don't know what it is. It's when we think we know that seriousness comes in, and that's when we have arrogance and identification. Because if we think we know and we take it seriously, we create a self. We create an origin point of who knows. What do they know? What's it worth? All of that stuff comes out of that. So the moment we revert back to, I don't know, I just have this experience and I can't even describe it accurately to you, that things get light again.
Yeah, I have noticed that when I get stressed around a live situation and I sit quietly for some time, I realize my assumption that I know or I believe what is going on. I believe I know what is going on, and that's not true.
No, of course not.
Yeah, then it becomes light, because if I don't know what's going on, then I don't know how to move forward or what is right, what is wrong. I have no idea.
You can just watch and wait. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I had this belief, and still maybe, that this not knowing, I heard about not knowing, and I thought it's this big thing that I have to achieve, not knowing what life is. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's a simple thing that no, there is no way to figure out what's really going on. There are interpretations, but what is behind it, there is no way to know.
Mm. Mm. All right. Well, I'm going to call it quits. It's after midnight here. I'm going to go to bed.
Get some good rest, Vince. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vin.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Bye, Max. Bye.
Bye.